This time around, I'm going to talk to you about actions, but maybe in a way that you might not have thought about. I certainly hadn't really thought this much about using actions this way. For me, actions usually is recording a whole series of steps to speed things up by playing them back, which is really the principle of actions. But I started playing around more with this little thing called button mode, and this is a display option in Actions palette where you choose it, and now each of these you just have to click on them instead of what you normally have to do is either assign a keyboard shortcut or click on the name of the action, hit the play button. So once I started realizing that, I started playing around and realized that I could record a whole series of simple little operations such as adding a stroke. Because right now, to add a stroke, I have to go to the layer palette, pick up the stroke, change it from the default red and to inside and so on. Now it's one click away. So let me show you some examples. For example, I have one action I recorded, that's probably the most complicated one, that is still very simple, that takes my background layer, turns it into a smart object, duplicates it, and free transforms it. So now I have this new layer. Now if I want to add a white stroke to it, maybe add a drop shadow, rotate it 10 degrees counterclockwise, make it 10% smaller. See, each of these, all I'm doing is one click to make a change. So all I have to do is make sure I'm on the right layer, click on the background layer and add a sepia adjustment. Or maybe I want to go back to the background layer and add a soft blur effect to it using smart filters. All of these are just simple little actions I recorded that are now one click away. And it's very easy to do. You just do it like you normally use in Actions. The only thing I would suggest, if you're going to record any kind of action, it's a pretty good idea, just to save yourself some grief, to add a new layer and just put something on it. I'm just making a rectangular selection of filling with red just so I have something. So then when you're recording simple operations like rotate and so on, there's no worry about is it a smart object, all that kind of stuff. So I've just made a new layer. Now I go to new action. Make sure you do this first, because if you don't, it'll actually record you clicking on the name layer 1. It'll only work on layers by that name. So make sure you have the layer selected first, then choose new action. And we'll do rotate 10 degrees clockwise. Since I already have counterclockwise, I simply choose record, transform, rotate, up here in the angle, type in 10, hit enter to lock that in, and then enter again to finalize the transformation, and then stop recording. Then I can throw that layer away because it served its purpose. If I change back to button mode, now I have another button. So if I want to rotate either counterclockwise or clockwise in increments of 10 degrees, I can do that simply through one click. I think you'll find as you start playing with this has some really interesting potential, because one of the other things you can do in Photoshop is have multiple sets of actions. So you could record a whole series of these quick click type actions. That was hard to say. Quick click actions for different purposes. Just load them as you need them. It's pretty cool, I think. Try it yourself. So I'll let you in on a little secret. All those movies you've watched of mine where I have some goofy ending at the end, you guessed it, all I do is record a series of actions, and then when I want to do things, I just click on them. Watch. No, it doesn't really work. I was just pretending. These don't actually do anything, but it'd be pretty cool if you could. Come on, add some hair. Please add some hair. I guess not. But make your own. I think you'll find a pretty interesting way to take use of actions. I'm Dave Pross. I shall see you next time.